Hey guys, just updating. Um, since my first video, this is my 4-week mark of having my dreadlocks. And as you see, they've started to dread up fairly nice. Sorry about the brightness, by the way. It's either I turn on this light or you can't really see me. So, today's video, I'm making because I wanted to show the starters, like people who want to start dreadlocks, what kind of products there are out there and some of the things that I find helpful to use when you're doing them yourself. Because since I had mine matted up by a girl in the salon, I actually have been doing them myself, and it's really not that difficult for those of you who want to do them yourself. Um, Basically what you want to do is try and find the size of the dreadlock that you want. So if you have friends that can come over and maybe help you section your hair out, that'd be great. First what you're going to do is you're going to section the hair and all this and that, and you're going to back comb, which I'll show you the comb that I use. It's not really expensive. You can get it from like Sally's or something like that, but it looks something kind of like that. You really want something that has close teeth. I wouldn't use any like bigger combs like fro combs or whatever they're called. Use something with close teeth. So that way you can knot up the hair pretty well and be able to pull your knots closer together. Another product that I found was pretty helpful. And it's something that you can use after you've already matted your hair, sorry. I can't speak. I can't even pronounce it. It's called Mango and Lime Locking Gel, but it's only like $4, and you can get it at Sally's. But it's really good. It'll help lock up your stuff. But I, again, do not encourage products. Another thing that's actually pretty useful if you want to use products in your hair is this locking wax, which is what I used originally. And as you can see, it was only like $3.99. It's really cheap, but it's one of the most recommended brands if you're going to use product in your hair. And it's actually good for people who have really fine hair because this is going to keep those loose pieces in the dread instead of having them hanging out all over the place. Something else you're going to want, especially when you go to remat your hair, like say you've already matted it, but you feel like it needs to be rematted because you have a bunch of loose ends coming out, you're going to want some of these. So you could separate that hair and back comb it. And another good thing to have, especially if you don't want the loose ends, just a regular crochet needle. And actually you need to have a friend with you, that way that they can take this little guy and shove it in your dreadlock and get rid of all those loose ends. And since I put out my last video, I've put in some beads. They're actually really cute. They got little Japanese or Chinese symbols on them. And I also put rubber bands in my hair. Something that I had in my last video too was the rubber bands. And the reason why I like putting rubber bands at the top of the dreads because it keeps the base pretty tight and keeps all those loose ends from coming out. I'm trying to think of what else I could tell you that might be helpful. As I said in my last video, not a good idea to wash your hair if it's not matted yet, because you can actually make those loose mats come even more loose, and then you will no longer have a dreadlock. So you want to make sure it's pretty good and matted, like something sort of like this, and mine aren't even close to being done yet. I still have about maybe 4 or 5 months before they actually start locking up completely. But as long as they're matted, you can wash your hair. And I actually did take a risk and washed mine the other day. And I don't use soap, and I don't use the shampoos, and I don't use the non-itch spray. I just filled the tub up with warm water and let them soak. Let them soak. Don't towel dry. Don't, rub the towel on your head or anything, but, squeeze them dry kind of like you would a sponge. And if you are using a shampoo, you want to make sure you do the same thing. Squeeze them, rinse them out, squeeze them, rinse them out. Same thing with drying. It's nothing too difficult. But if you don't really feel like washing your hair, the bad thing about not washing your hair when you have dreadlocks is greasy hair and oily hair can actually, it won't knot up as well. So you want clean hair. That way it's not slipping and sliding against each other instead of knotting up. You actually want it to knot up. That's what a dread is. It's just a bunch of knots, basically. So make sure that you do get the chance to clean it when they are nice and matted up. But other than that, I'll just let you look at mine. They're not really anything too fancy. I wish I had more hair, but I don't. Mine haven't really shrunk yet. They're still pretty long. Dreads will shrink over time, especially when they start to lock up, depending on if you're using product or not, or how tight you actually have the mat, they will start to shrink, or so I'm told. And I'm just going off by what other people have told me, and the people who helped me do my hair, I'm going off by what they said. So, but they are starting to look pretty decent, I guess. But that's about it, and I'll show you the products one more time, so if you do decide that, you know, you want to use products or something, you can actually take in the hand stuff that might help you out. Once again, some good products that I would recommend if you're using product, especially for people with finer hair that have a bunch of the loose ends coming out and you can't get them to stay in no matter what. Go to Sally's and buy you some of this Jamaican Mango and Lime locking wax. It's actually pretty good, but it's a bitch to get out, I promise. And then there's the Mango and Lime locking gel, which will not keep the loose ends in, I promise. But it's still a good product regardless. Some of these clippies, things, whatever they are. A close teeth comb. I'm using a lice comb. It's probably not the best thing to use, but it was the thing with the closest needles that I could find. And again, for the loose ends, just won't go in no matter what. Just a little crochet needle. You know, this little guy right here. He's very small, but he's actually very helpful. And in a couple of months, you will have dreadlocks. Hopefully. If your hair doesn't take forever, maybe it'll take a year. Or long, or, you know, just depends on your hair. According to the girl that I went to get my hair done, she told me that my hair was already locking. Which I don't understand because my hair's very thin, very fine. I'm white. Okay, yeah. But she said that, so I'm assuming that's a good thing, that it's already locking. Anyway, I'll cut the bullshit. I'll let you guys go till I make a new video. So, just remember, if you guys have any, you know, requests or questions, you can always comment or email me or whatever. Don't subscribe. I don't have a subscribe option, and I don't think I really have any views yet, so we'll get to that when it comes.